tied for 5th at the moment. A logjam after the only undefeated team left on both the men's and women's side. As last night we saw the last men's unbeaten rink, New Brunswick's Jeremy Millay lose to BC's Ty Griffith. Vallee's first rock will slide through the rings. There'll be a chance for Calleen Neufeld to ask her lead, Lindsay Edie, to put up a corner guard hammer, throwing the Red Rocks in end 1.
Halfway. Line's good. Tight. 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 It's got a curl. Tight. Tight. Yep. Gotta get it off the center. Yep. Hard. Wait. Less ice.
On va la laisser mourir. Wow, faut que ça meure là. Wow.
Just trying to draw around that stone just off the center line. It'll stick out for the most part as it sits just in the back of the forefoot. As Quebec lies one, but chance Lindsay Edie will have a little hit and roll again behind that corner guard.
It's clean. Yep. Whoa. No, whoa.
Won't get a roll, but underneath the guard. Just needs to stick around. A little help from Sophie Morissette, the skip of this Quebec team. Throws third stones. Lana Gosselin throws last rocks for this Quebec team.
Oh, yeah, blind! C'est fort, ça! Yeah!
Again, it's now Vicky Tremblay trying to get one in behind, tuck it behind that corner guard. Just got by that top stone. Looking in a good position to try and bury it. It sits top 8-foot shot stone, partially buried behind that corner guard. Will allow a chance for Laryssa Grenkow to hit and roll away their first shot of the game.
Does anyone have gum?
Just a little bit of a roll as it'll sit side of the 8-foot shot stone. Just the one rock in the rings, the one guard out in front. It'll be Vicky Tremblay again with a hit and roll. Wanting to stick around, but shooter rolls out of play. Nothing in the rings, just that one outside. One Manitoba stone just outside the rings. One guard out front. Now Laryssa will play the intern around that corner guard. Play the outside intern as they thrown by Tremblay, not Barry around that guard. Again, that one doesn't get berries. It just sits top 12-foot had great line, just maybe a little bit more weight, and it would have been fully buried. As you see Sophie Morissette going down the ice, who throws third stones, but calls the game for this Quebec rink. She'll throw her first rock of the game with her team sitting at 3-3 after 6 games this year's Canadian Juniors. Just end up picking that stone. Shooter will roll it. Just tick that stone out of the rings, but enough to.
Yeah.
That'll be Sabrina Neufeld with a chance to draw around that corner guard. As you saw with Grenkow's second rock. Just needed a little more weight and would have fully buried behind that guard. And fair amount more weight this time.
Okay.
It won't sit, just hanging on to the back of the 12-foot for Manitoba. And now Morissette gonna have to play a forward weight hit, a little quieter weight. Try and get at that shot rock just in the back of the rings. Gets a nose hit, sits right there. It's Quebec line one without the hammer in this first end of play. Quebec looking to knock off the unbeaten Manitoba rink, sitting at 5-0 atop the standings. Would like your shooter to stick around again. It won't. It'll roll out. It'll remain in play, but just outside the rings. Again, you see the Quebec team playing the out turn around that guard out front, as one of the Manitoba team is elected to play the in turn. But we'll see Lana Gosselin with her first rock of the game, the 4th stones for this Quebec team. Is she throws the last 2, but Morissette calls the game. Need this one behind. Don't want to give an opportunity for Manitoba to draw around. It gets by. Trying to finish it, get it to sit on the T-line. Sits top 4-foot in a good position.
Half of it. T, back 4.
As it got buried behind that guard. Actually peeked out the end. Didn't quite get fully buried. But just a little tap. Calleen Neufeld, the skip of this Manitoba rink. Of course, this entire team was here last year. And a disappointing run going 5-7, but a year of experience has led them off to a 5-0 start. They have as many wins already on day 4 as they did all last year.
Looks up. Just wait. T, where?
Little tap, pop out into the open, and be a shot for Gosselin to lie to and force Manitoba to take a single point with the hammer. wants to avoid the jam on this one and be able to single point.
Nice shot.
As she will, she'll sit top 4 foot, lies 2.
I don't think you can nose and be shy.
I don't think so either. Why don't we go like this?
Okay.
And if they get one, it's okay. Normal weight. It stays pretty straight.
Actually sat in a real good position for this Quebec team as they're lying 2. A nose hit won't get them their
Roll a bit your
single
way.
point.
If they
So
get one, that's okay.
need to get a little roll, catch a piece of the 4 foot to pick up that single point. Fairly
Make a
open
touch,
first
last
end,
green.
as we've seen for the most part in every game so far this week. Teams like to keep things open. Of course, there are 2 different curling clubs, so a little different feel. If they were at the Port Arthur Club last night. First game of the day.
Whoa.
First end, Calleen Neufeld needs a little hit and roll, pick up a single point. Some of it is she'll slide right by in an early steal of 2 for Quebec as they take an early 2-0 lead over the unbeaten Manitoba rink from the 2006 Meat Shop Canadian Juniors. You see the standings. Manitoba's Calleen Neufeld up on top, but now trailing 2-0. As you see Quebec's Sophie Morissette and her team at 3-3. One of a pile of teams in the hunt as there's a log jam with 2, 3, and 4 losses. But a good end for this Quebec team in the first end against 5-0 Manitoba. Have a chance, have an early 2-0 lead without the hammer. So big miss from Calleen Neufeld as she her last rock and needed a little hit and roll for a single point. Flash to the hit, and it is now Quebec 2-0.
Okay.
The first rock of the second end for Isabelle Vallee goes into the rings.
Halfway!
Halfway.
Good.
After that steal of 2, it's now Manitoba needing to try and create some offense and score multiple points with the hammer. As you see the first rock for Lindsay Edie as the corner guard goes up. Isabelle Vallee now with her second rock of the end.
Juste la ouais, très large.
Oh, c'est large.
Looking to draw into the rings and lie 2.
Oh non, la ligne est belle. Mais c'est large encore, là, mais il faut être là.
t'es là. Top 12. Oh. Oh.
Tape à la fin un peu. On va être caché à moitié.
Now Quebec lying 2 without the hammer. It's going to force Lindsay Edie to hit that stone just thrown into the rings. The position where it's at, it took away the path around that corner guard. Gonna try and hit and roll.
Quick, hard. Hard, right up, yep. Quick, hard. Hard, roll it off, Prissy, yep. Yep, right over.
This ends up peeling off their own guard, rolls their shooter over towards the center line. It's still Quebec lying 2 now. And a center guard, just off center guard, that they can use. Try and tuck one behind to lie 3. Vicky Tremblay, the second on this Quebec rink, has a chance to tuck one in behind.
Oh, c'est large, c'est large, c'est large, c'est large.
Là.
like this one above the tee line. Don't allow a freeze for Manitoba. Just hanging out there and not going to get in behind. Leaving it high, just sit top 8 foot. Now the hit and roll behind cover for Laryssa Grenkow to try and get Manitoba in a position to possibly score multiple points with the hammer.
Whoa! Whoa!
Doesn't get it. It'll roll out of play. Hit it on the wrong side of the rock. They needed to get the roll. And give Tremblay a chance to tuck one behind again.
Back.
No, it's already too long.
This one will slide again. Not buried behind that guard. Sit back button and another hit and roll. Probably play a little quieter weight. Laryssa's second rock. Big weight to try and get a hit and roll. So she's going to try and make up for it. Make a good hit and roll. Try and set her team up to score this end.
Yep. Whoa. Lens, if you can.
Trying to get any roll they can. Gets a little bit of tuck a piece behind that guard, but it is open and a chance for Sophie Morissette to play a quiet weight hit.
Hein? Oh non, l'autre, c'est parce que t'as fait ring out, genre. Hein? Bonne part.
Didn't want to sit there and allow that hit and roll, but shooter rolls out. It's just Quebec line 2 and Morissette line rolling out. Just going to ignore those other Quebec stones in the rings, and it's going to be draw around that one guard out in front. And again, they need to
Yes, line. Wait only, got
try
rim.
and make a couple shots, try and get their deuce in N2 as they trail 2-0 after an early steal of 2 by Quebec.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, bring it back to bury it. Yep.
It'll sit just on the side of the button, not fully buried. You see it just got a piece of it buried behind that guard. And again, it'll be Sophie Morissette with a chance to play a hit on it. Wants to make sure she does remove the stone. Would rather roll out than wreck on that guard and allow a chance for Manitoba to set up their deuce.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This time it looks like she will. Looks like it just spun out. Didn't quite a little too much to roll as it rolls out. And again, Sabrina Neufeld has a chance to draw around. Sweepers are right off. Needs a little less weight and allow the sweepers to try and finish it behind that guard.
Rim. Go then. Hard. 8 foot. Look up. Hard. Line's good. Hard. Hard.
Need this one to be shot stone. Try and get as far as they can, but just not enough legs as it'll sit out in front of the rings. 2 centerline guards up for Manitoba. It is in a position to possibly be split or tapped later on. So.
OK.
And allowing a short little run back for Manitoba. It's
La frappe nausée, puis on reste au centre.
gonna be Lana Gosselin with a hit on that stone. Looks to maybe, probably can't get right to the nose of that stone, but a little roll. Sit out in front, block off the forefoot. As she lies 2. Is able to get right to the nose, removes that stone, and she sits on the center line.
Like there.
And now, as we're on to the hammer, looking for a hit and roll. Is some protection to try and get in behind.
Yeah, no control. Doesn't move at all.
Wants to be pretty precise with this one. Sit top 8 foot, sort of in the middle of those 3 rocks, and take away any real raise for Lana Gosselin with her last rock at the end. But she's looking to try and set up her deuce with her 2 rocks at the end after her team hasn't been able to make the come around or the hit and rolls needed to get in behind cover.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 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 Yep. Yes. Whoa. Roll. Whoa. Hard.
Now take it as far as you can. Try and drag it as far as you can behind. It'll just sit partially, almost fully buried behind that center line yellow rock. I just see it behind. Try and roll. But another rock width would have been perfect. So now Lana Gosselin needs a short run back on that stone she just threw on her last one to remove that one Manitoba stone from the rings and to not allow Manitoba to get their deuce with the hammer. Needs to get almost nose on this stone to make it. It just doesn't come up enough as it'll now leave it. Manitoba a chance after a good hit and roll by Neufeld on her first. Will have a open draw into the 8 foot. Try and tie this game up. Capitalize on that miss by Gosselin with her last rock at the end.
T-line.
Calleen Neufeld now needs 8 foot for that second point to tie up this game through 2 ends.
Looks all there.
Make up for her
all
first
yours.
end last rock miss. Gave a steal of
Line's
2 to
fine,
Quebec.
just tee.
Just needs a piece of the 8 foot to get
Line's
that
fine,
second
just
point.
tee, guys. Where? Hard.
Needs to make sure this is there. Don't want to leave points out on the floor.
Hard, guys. Push hard. Hammers there, hard. Keep going, hard. Keep
Lindsay and
going.
Laryssa try and drag it as far as they can. I don't know if it quite got there far enough. They're going to take a look.
1 red. Okay.
And it is just
One
a
red.
single. Neufeld comes up light with her last rock draw attempt.
Go, man, choke.
And it is now 2-1 as we'll head to the third with Quebec having the hammer for the first time in a feature game. Back inside the Fort William Curling Club, it's the 2006 M&M Meat Shops Canadian Junior Championship. Luke Coley here for CurlTV as you're watching Manitoba versus Quebec. Manitoba is able to just get a single point. Calleen Neufeld had a open draw to the 8 foot. She came up light. Sweepers weren't able to drag it far enough to get that second point and tie this game up. So in the third end, Quebec has the hammer leading 2-1.
Yep, line.
Big scrub trying to drag it by. Awfully close. He had just feathered it a touch as it sits open in the top of the 8-foot for Lindsay Edie to make a play on. It is a long guard, so quiet weight. Probably could get to the nose, maybe a little roll to the center line. Just tick that stone in, fully buried behind that guard now. Comes out the other side a little bit, and Morissette has the hammer.
Okay.
It's just gonna draw to the wings. Has one around that centerline guard. With Isabelle Vallee's second rock, she's just gonna draw to the wings to lie two, as Quebec has the hammer for the first time with a 2-1 lead.
Oh, yep. Three more. Okay, whoa.
Nice shot.
Vallee's able to get that one just in the top of the 12-foot. Laryssa Grenkow not looking for a hit and roll. Try and roll over on top or in behind that yellow stone for Quebec on the center line.
Hard, quick.
Just try and get a piece of the stone as it slides by it. Let's go back lying two as they have the hammer. Already a 1-point lead, looking to extend that. Quebec lying three. Try and keep those stones separated. Try and possibly get a big end with a couple of misses they've got from this Manitoba rink. As they look to knock off this Manitoba rink, which hasn't lost a game yet. Sits half in the 12-foot, half in the 8-foot. Maybe a touch too deep because it allows a hit and roll for Laryssa Grenkow to get in behind those stones. An important hit and roll. If she can do this, it'll bail her team out of this end. Not looking in a good shape right now. And a nose hit won't get that roll. We'll bail Manitoba out as a probably hit and roll is the best option for Vicky Tremblay now to try and get in behind. Even a nose hit isn't terrible. Just wants to make sure her shooter remains in the rings. Let's get the nose hit and the hit and roll in behind. Out there as more. You see Calleen Neufeld put the broom down for a hit again. And that'll be into third stone, Sabrina Neufeld. She's looking at 3 yellow Quebec stones in the rings.
I'm gonna go the other way, okay?
And she'll roll out a play as it's Quebec now has a chance
Okay, d'accord.
either be real high or deep with this one. Don't want to be on the T line, give that hit and roll again. Sophie Morissette heads down the ice. This Quebec team, which leads 2-1, sitting at 3-3 right now, tied for 5th in the standings. Look to make up some ground on the first place Manitoba
C'est à
rank.
combien? Ouais, mais il faut vraiment sur un dé. Combien?
Wow! Wow! Hard! Dans le bac, les filles, dans le bac, yep!
Just want this back 12 foot.
Wow!
Just needs to sit down and make sure it's in the rings to lie 3.
Okay, excuse-nous.
Morissette just a little strong as the sweepers misjudged that one a bit. Slides through the rings. And a little break for Manitoba. Sabrina Neufeld has a hit and roll, possibly to lie 1, but count Quebec down a little bit.
Whoa! Yep! Yes! Whoa! Whoa!
Looking for just a hit and roll. Will catch it too thin. Will roll out of the rings. And Quebec has a chance to draw into the rings to lie 2. Probably go to the wings again. That's exactly what Sophie Morissette will do with her last rock of this third end.
J'étais sortie à... OK. Fait que même weight. Ben oui, vous avez bossé tout le long.
Again, would like to sit in the back
Là,
12
j'avais
foot.
dans le bac aussi,
And
les
not allow a
filles,
hit and
yep!
roll to be shot stone for Manitoba.
Dans le bac!
Hard!
But important that it is in the rings.
Hard! Je veux pas qu'elle roule au centre. Hard! Hard!
Hard!
Hard!
Hard!
She'll sit T-line and hit and roll. Will allow Manitoba to be shot stone
This turn right here.
for Neufeld.
Good. Roll.
So a big shot for Calleen Neufeld, who's struggled in the first couple ends, missing her last shot in both on chances to pick up points. She trails 2-1, looking for a hit and roll to get her team out of this end without giving up a deuce and going down 3 points to Quebec early.
Hard! 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 Right up! Yes! Hard! Hard!
Won't do it as she'll flash right by as a huge miss from Neufeld.
As far as that goes, and that too.
Stuff?
Ouais.
By 3 again, after a huge miss from Calleen Neufeld. She flashed with her open hit, trying to hit and roll.
Dans le bac, les filles, dans le bac! Yep!
Hard!
Hard! Hard! Hard! Yep! Plus loin, plus loin, plus loin!
Ok, je l'ai.
Hard!
Again, trying to take it into the back at 12 foot as it'll sit down.
No, not John.
Quebec lies 3.
Same ice, I just threw it really bad, eh? And more
Wanted to make sure it
weighting,
was
that really
into the
down.
back of 12 foot as they got it. Not allow a freeze to be shot stone. For Manitoba. And now another big shot for Calleen Neufeld to try and get her team out without giving up 3 this end. Needs to make a hit and roll to the back of the 4 foot just to lie 1. She makes it though. She has a chance to possibly get a steal or a roll into the open will allow an open hit for Lana Gosselin and Quebec to pick up 3 and take a 4-point lead after 3 ends. Last rock of the end for Manitoba is Calleen Neufeld without the hammer.
Yes! Hard! Yep! Quick! Hard! Yep, yep, yep.
And again, won't get that roll. She'll roll out of play, and a wide open draw to the paint for Lana Gosselin to pick up 3 and capitalize on Manitoba's mistakes this end.
What? Spot.
So a huge opportunity now for Lana Gosselin to capitalize on some misses, take an early lead on the undefeated team. Look to win their 4th game as they have a chance for a 3-ender in the 3rd end and a chance to take a 5-1 lead. Just needs a piece of the paint.
Okay.
Just want to make sure she is in. It's good. It will be a score of 3 for Quebec as they jump out to an early 5-1 lead through 3 ends from the Fort William Curling Club. You're watching CurlTV's coverage of the 2006 M&M Meat Shops Canadian Juniors.
TV.
Luke Coley back inside the Fort William Curling Club, a 5-1 lead. Quebec leading Manitoba as we're playing the 4th end. First rock for Vallee. Slide just to the back of the forefoot as they've jumped out to an early lead over this Manitoba team who's struggling this afternoon in day 4 action. Draw number 8 from these Canadian Junior Championships.
Tight.
Now trailing by 4, it's very important that Lindsay Edie puts her guards up in positions that they can use. You see this one's over curling too much towards the side of play, way out there. And now Vallee can protect that stone she threw with her first one. Even coming into the rings isn't a bad option for Beck. That first stone went to the back of the forefoot. Even top forefoot on this one wouldn't be a bad thing for Isabelle Vallee.
On est large, c'est à vous.
On est là. On est 3. Ah, faut que ça curle,
Ouais, ça, on est 3.
4. 4.
Ben, yep, à la fin, là. Le plus possible la ligne.
Just being a biter in the top of the rings.
This is
the first
good.
rock is behind the tee line, and a little bit of a mistake from Vallee with her first one.
Drawing.
It is a freeze for Lindsay Edie to sit right on top of it and nice shot stone. Manitoba just needs to string together some good shots. They've definitely had their opportunities early on to pick up 1 in the first, missed by Calleen Neufeld, and a chance for a second point to tie the game up. She came up light with her draw, and a couple of hit and roll opportunities last end to try and get out of it. All missed by this Manitoba team.
T, good. Line's good. T, room. T, right to it. Line's really good. T, right to it. Line's good. You got room. Weight's good. Room. No bounce. Just to it. To it. Yeah, shot.
Just a little bit of separation, I believe. As that red Manitoba stone is shot rock. Good away from Lindsay Edie. Now into second stones, Vicky Tremblay. Just going to look to pick that stone out as there is a little bit of separation to go across the face of their own yellow stone on the back of the button. Can't avoid the jam, but catch enough to spill that red rock out of the rings. Shooter actually rolls in behind cover as well. So Vicky Tremblay able to remove it. And some backing for Laryssa Grenkow to freeze to with her first rock of the end. Manitoba looks to try and score multiple points. A deuce, so make it a 2-point game. Just try and fight their way back. We saw a 5-1 deficit after 3 ends yesterday with the other unbeaten men's team, Jeremy Malay.
Just line. Line up. Just line. Yep. Yes, hard. Okay, whoa, wait.
The guard now needs to curl and get to that stone.
Okay.
Doesn't want to bump out into the open. As it does, it'll now allow Morissette and her second Vicky Tremblay to make a chance to tap it. As you can almost see all of that stone.
Backline, Vic.
Last night we had
On
New
it,
Brunswick
act!
versus BC in junior men's action.
Whoa!
It was a 5-1 lead after 3. Malay got it within 1 point and a chance. He was down 2 with the hammer play in the 7th. He clawed his way back, so that's what Manitoba's going to have to do. Trailing 5-1. Tremblay doesn't get to the nose, and it'll leave that red rock in the rings. They are lying 1 as their shooter rolled again behind cover. Things going well for this Quebec team, even when they're not hitting the rock exactly where they want to. So another freeze. Laryssa Grenkow.
Yep. Go. Wait only.
We're bumping.
Where?
Sit.
Doesn't want to tap it, just wants to sit on top of it. But it won't even touch it, it'll slide right by. And another miss from this Manitoba team, unable to capitalize on an opportunity. A little tap would have had Manitoba lying 2, but slides right by.
Backline!
And now Sophie Morissette will make a play on that lone Manitoba rock in the rings. And a chance to lie 2, possibly 3 if that one is just hanging on in the back of the rings. Big sweep trying to get it by that guard. Just skinnies it. We'll get a little roll. It is Quebec line 2. And it looks like that other one is hanging on. It will be line 3.
That's not bad.
Possibly 4 with that top stone in the rings as well.
This or this.
Where are we going? We're going there?
Sabrina Neufeld now. All those 3 of the 4 Quebec rocks in the rings are behind the T line, so
Yep.
a big freeze opportunity to try and
Hard line.
generate a deuce this way. As they have a couple guards out in front, they can.
Right back, girls. Quick. Hard. Hard. Right back. Hard. Hurry. Yep. Right behind it.
Doesn't
Yep,
make it by the guard,
hard.
but will roll
Hard.
into
Keep
the
going.
rings.
Hard.
Will be open, but it is shot stone for Manitoba. An opportunity for Sophie Morissette to remove it from play.
Stop! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Just tick it, it'll leave it in the rings. We'll sit down. Manitoba is second shot. That shot rock at the back for Quebec is now accessible. A big miss from Sophie Morissette. They had a chance to lie 5 without the hammer, but so Sabrina Neufeld has a chance to tap this stone back and have Manitoba lie 2. A big turnaround in this 4th end.
Back here. Lots of room. Back here. Yep.
Just wants to lock this one on, maybe a little tap.
Good weight.
Just a little too much ice as it had great weight to lock one on top. Put a rock width over and it would have been a perfect freeze. But as you can see, there will be an opportunity for Lana Gosselin to get to the nose, a little inside, get a roll, and remove that Manitoba stone to
Pour la poignée le plus en dedans possible. Yeah! Wow! Yeah! Wow, 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 wow! Wow! Yep!
gets a nose hit. It's Quebec. Line 2. We've got one Manitoba stone. Third shot
Yeah,
in the
like you
rings.
want to get them both? And then go this way a little bit?
Double is definitely there with Gosselin not getting that inside roll.
Normal and then like here.
Just off
They can
nose
sweep
doubles
it
should
back.
allow
It
the
stays
shooter to
forever.
stick around. And Neufeld and her
Just normal,
Manitoba
though.
rank from LaSalle a chance to lie to as they look to back trailing 5-1 to Quebec in this fourth end.
I'm gonna do the double, roll a bit your way. Normal weight. Just don't jump it.
Trying to make the double as it curls up too much on her. Sits right there at the Manitoba lying shot stone. But another little hit and roll for Lana Gosselin to lie to and take away any double opportunities for two for Manitoba. Single point. Or force them to a shot for a single point. Perfect roll would probably be half buried behind this guard. Take away the double, make a draw for one difficult for Neufeld. Needs to get by the guard first. Just does. Roll out into the open, and it'll roll too far, I believe, and now we'll have a chance to tap that backstone for two for Manitoba.
Can we come back and bump it back?
It is
so
fully
it's made
buried.
by the guard by lots. So play like, huh?
We'll have to get really tight to it. I'd
Yeah.
just play like back line.
Sure.
Don't have to move it far, just like a rock width will do the
I've been
job for
giving here.
Calleen Neufeld.
So that should be good.
I don't know, we've come by the guard by lots. And this is good.
Down 5-1.
Back
This
12,
is the
back
only
line.
shot that really Calleen Neufeld should try, and she will. Wants to just get by that guard, tap it back,
Back
little
line,
rock,
back 12. Just
rock
gotta move
width,
it.
and it'll allow her to bring that other red rock into play. A couple misses from the Quebec rank has given Manitoba the chance to try and score 2 points. See if Calleen Neufeld can come up with a big shot and a chance to pick up multiple points for the first time in this game and make it a 5-3 game. Need to make it by the guard. Gonna wreck on the guard. Doesn't want to tap it in to give up another steal of 2, but she will. It is 1 for sure. Maybe where that shooter rolled. They kick it away. It is a steal of 2 for Quebec as they now take a 7-1 lead through 4 ends of play from the Fort William Curling Club. You're watching CurlTV's coverage of the Canadian Juniors.
J'ai dit pas de garde.
Now a 7-1 lead
Correct, correct.
in the fifth end. First rocker, Isabelle Vallee will get thrown. And now Manitoba will have to try and fight their way back.
Regarde les aides sur leur pays.
Down 6 points, looking to throw up the corner guard.
We just got to take a minute and refocus our thoughts here, okay? It's very straight ice and we're having trouble with just little inside, little outside. Don't worry about what's happening. We're going to focus on our shot, focus on our technique, focus on our release. What do we want to do for the next 2 or 3 ends? Do we want to try and get points back, or do we want to try and just get...
We need points. We're running out of ends.
Okay, so they're going to be going in the rings. We can go corner, we can freeze to them if we want. We don't, or we can bend, whatever we want to do. But take some time and focus on our release. I think it's mostly on our release. We're just getting a little inside out. And with the one turn, it's really straight. When we set up our corner guards, we're getting them too far over. So take a little bit more ice. We can even guard their shot rock at this point. Because if we guard their shot rock, then they're going to have to guard, and then we can start going after it. If we guard their shot rock, they're going to put a guard on one side, we can put a guard on the other side and play bump up. But just take our time, and let's focus on our release and focus on the mechanics of what we're doing. Okay? Nothing matters but the shot we're throwing now. Do that. You get through the thought process before and focus on what we're doing. Okay?
See, that was a timeout called by Manitoba's. He came out and good advice is just try and refocus the troops down 7-1, just to worry about one shot at a time, make the shot at hand, not worry about what Quebec's doing, just play their game and try and fight their way back. This is the fifth end, still 6 ends to play. It's definitely not over. We have seen bigger comebacks. And like Coach Calvin, corner guard goes up. And now Isabelle Vallee. Second rock after her first one was thrown through the rings.
On s'est fort!
Of course, the last Quebec team to win a Canadian Junior Championship was in 1999. Marie-France Larouche and her team won that year. A team that was at the Olympic trials in Halifax this past December. As Vallee's rock will sit back 12 foot. And another corner going to be up.
Yeah.
Won't be another corner. It'll be Lindsay Edie looking to draw around that corner line. It's right on the first one. It is a corner guard going to be put up. Trying to put up the multiple corner guards. I would imagine Quebec will start peeling with second stones and Vicky Tremblay.
Even.
Good. Okay, good to Rosalind's.
Fourth rock comes to rest, and Vicky Tremblay will
Normal.
now peel off that corner guard. They have one in the rings, just in the back 12 foot. And now Manitoba needs a few misses from this Quebec team to try and capitalize and score multiple points.
Yeah! Hey! Wow, 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 wow. On est sur le nez, wow.
nose hit. A miss from the Quebec team. A chance for Grenkow to draw around, get in, be shot stone. As they're down 6 points as we're playing the fifth end.
I think it's all there. Weight's all there. We're back. No, it's curling too much.
Just got by that top one, now needs to sit down.
Good.
Sit down and be shot stone would be nice, as it does sit back 12 foot for Manitoba as they lie one.
Kick your shot! It's out!
A little bit of a surprise as gonna try and freeze on it,
Anu!
Ouais,
but looks like they've changed their mind.
the même weight.
I would be peeling that corner guard. You have a 6-point lead. Take off anything out front that'll cause you any trouble later on in the end.
Yep! Yep! Hard!
And the peel is what they call now a little sweep to try and drag that shooter out of the rings. Removes the one corner and the other one up. Laryssa Grenkow now gonna try and draw around it to lie two for Manitoba.
Mine's really good. You got room. Bring it back to bury it. Yep. Yep.
Try and drag this one as far as they can. Will be shot rock, but try and bury it as much as they can. Get it partially buried behind that guard. Now that one rock wide open in the rings. It's going to be Sophie Morissette asked to peel it out. If they remove their own, that would probably be added bonus as well. Not have some backing for Manitoba to freeze to later on in the end. Try and possibly get more than just their 2 points this end. And there you go. It clears all those rocks in the back with 12 foot out. It's just Manitoba line one has one corner guard up. And they're going to try and suck one around again. Sit right on top of that stone. Sabrina Neufeld. Her first rock of the fifth end. As Manitoba trails Quebec 7-1.
Mine's really good. Hard line. Yep. Hard. Line, yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yep. That's fine.
Doesn't make it into the rings as a miss, and will allow a peel opportunity for Sophie Morissette to get rid of that top corner guard. Would have liked that one in the rings, and then you're lying two and a chance to draw to lie three for Manitoba. Peels off that top centerline guard. What she was looking for. It's
Gotta tap it up.
Manitoba lying one, trailing by 6, looking to score a possible big end. Gonna need a miss out of Lana Gosselin. Her 2 skip stones this end, possibly get a 3-ender and cut that lead in half.
Yep. Line's good. Yep. 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 Whoa. 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 Yep. 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 Yes. Hard.
Won't tap it straight back, just off nose. It'll be Manitoba lying 2, but those stones are wide open and a chance for a double for Gosselin. Manitoba badly needs a miss in this situation. For Gosselin and her first rock, she can afford to be outside rather than inside and wreck on that guard. Guard really shouldn't come into play, but if anything, she'd rather be outside of the room than inside. At least make sure she removes one of them. And just a little tick on that guard. Was able to still remove one, but the break for Manitoba is just got rid of one rather than 2.
Drawing in there? Or if we come here. If we come here?
You can play something on here.
Huh? If we come here, then they can double it. Yeah, so we gotta get behind the guard, right?
Why not play something like this?
Sure. Yeah, that works.
What do you want? Like, what kind of weight do you want to throw?
Back 4?
We need more than that. We gotta make sure that one's second.
No, well, if we play back 4 and we roll here and then push this one here, back 4 should do it here.
Back 8? I like back 8.
I don't want to push it too far.
Okay, and throw back 4.
We'll do back 4, back 8-ish. Okay, but if it starts hanging out here, then we'll go off that one like that.
Okay.
We play back 4, back 8, and just separate them. Roll behind the guard.
Has one guard out in front, trying to use it
What I
and
threw last time
create
was
some
back 8.
separation between those red rocks. They are shot stone right now, trying to just get a little roll in behind as well. Try and lie 2 with Calleen Neufeld's first rock of this 5th end as she trails 1.
Line's good. Close. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Yes. Sweep. Hard.
Just gets by that guard. Doesn't want to tap that one too far,
Okay.
but it will be Manitoba lying 2. I was hoping to just roll underneath that guard. Got a little bit too much weight.
Hold out.
As you see now, it'll be Gosselin hitting the open one. Give up the deuce this end, and you're up 4 points, heading to the break, and you'll have the hammer in the 6th end. Wants to make sure she removes it as she'll roll her shooter out, and full 8-foot will get Neufeld that 2nd point. She's left a few of those points on the board so far this game. A draw for 2 short in the 2nd, a chance for 1 in the 1st, gave up a steal of 2. A shot for points in that 4th end as she gave up a
Okay.
big steal, and it's now 7-1 and a chance to make it a 7-3 game heading to the 5th end break for Calleen Neufeld, the place Manitoba team sitting at 5-0.
Mine's okay.
Where? We're by
Oh,
it.
you're not gonna get it.
Where are we?
Sweepers right off, needs to dig in. Hang on, full 8 foot. Needs full 8 foot, needs to stop in time. But it'll slide too far, and another point missed. It'll slide too deep. It'll be 7-2 as we head to the 5th end. As you see the disappointment on Calleen Neufeld's face. We'll be right back after the 5th end break for more curling from the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Back for the start of the 6th end, a 7-2 game in favor of Quebec over Manitoba. As we now start the 6th, Lindsay Edie to start things off. Another point missed by Calleen Neufeld as her draw went through
Just
too
over.
deep, and it was only a single point
Halfway tight.
for Manitoba in the
Okay, go
5th.
tight then.
Tight.
Good.
Good weight.
On est là.
Nice shot.
Now having a 5-point lead and the hammer, the first rock of the end for Isabelle Vallee will slide into the rings.
A little less.
Another guard now for Lindsay Edie, a nursing student at the University of Manitoba.
I think that should be okay. That's okay. Just don't be out yet. Just over.
Just over, guys.
Wanted to take advantage of the 4-rock free guard zone as Manitoba now needs to steal.
There we go.
A steal of 1 point there. The last 5 ends will get them a tie. They got their work cut out for them.
No.
As they're down 5 points without the hammer in the 6th end. Isabelle Vallee in her second rock of the end is a natural sciences student at Cégep Sainte-Foy.
Check-les.
Top 12.
Faut que ça curve, Vic, faut que ça curve, faut que ça dépasse la ligne.
Faut être là, hein?
Come here, it's good too.
I like that.
Wait.
Laryssa Grenkow, the second on this Manitoba rink in her second Canadian Juniors, is a grade 12 student at Fort Richmond Collegiate.
Tight.
Mine's good.
We're probably in. T-line.
They have the 2 guards up, not in an ideal position. We'd like them on the center line to try and steal. Going to try and draw around just in the top 12 foot,
Lots of room.
but it'll slide
Sure.
into the
Yeah.
rings.
Yeah.
Will be shot stone.
Good weight.
So it gets a piece of it buried behind those 2 guards.
C'est ça.
Just a little bit, and it will be open for Vicky Tremblay, a social science student as well at Cégep
Same weight.
As Tremblay is able to get a little roll. It'll sit wide open, but Quebec lies too as they have the hammer. As Grenkow now trying to draw in again as they're going to have to go hard for the steal in the sixth end.
Yep. Protect. Whoa. Pass it. Yep. Hard then hard. Hard. You're going right past it.
Trying to get a little tick, just too much weight as Grenkow will slide through the rings, and another miss from this Manitoba team, and things aren't going their way this afternoon in their first game on this Tuesday, January 23rd.
On ouvre!
Ouais, c'est ça, là. Ben non, on t'ouvre comme ça, Vic, là. T'essaies pas le double, là.
Non! Vas-y, contrôle de même.
Ouais.
Non. Même weight que tantôt. Yep.
Now going to peel off one of those guards. It's Vicky Tremblay. She'll get that top one off. Shooter will roll out as well. Good peel there from Tremblay with her second shot of N6.
Yeah, I guess.
Looking like Quebec will pick up their fourth victory, having a 5-point lead over
Then
Manitoba.
they'll peel and then we go here.
Give them their first defeat of this Canadian Junior Championship.
Good? So which way are we going? Are we going that way? Which way are we going? I think a bit more than A.
Sabrina Neufeld's first rock of the sixth end. She is a grade 12 student at Linden Christian School.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Whoa.
Looking for a hit and roll in behind is awfully close, just a little bit more of a curl.
OK, ça.
Catch it a little thicker. Will sit behind that guard, but it's open for
Un petit contrôle,
Sophie
là.
Morissette to remove with her first rock. Again, she calls the game, throws third stones. This has become a fairly popular lineup change for many teams now after the success of the Randy Furby, David Nedwin team. Sophie Morissette is a caregiver. Not worried about sticking around. She rolls out of play. It's just that one Quebec stone in the rings. Trying to drag it as far as they can. It won't get to be shot stone. And still Quebec lying one. They can get to the nose of this red rock to lie two. Sophie Morissette's second rock of the end. Won't get by that top guard of theirs and roll it off. Shooter will roll out a play as well. So a miss from more. This Quebec lying one, but that red rock is still in the rings for Manitoba.
Roll, then they're looking at two, right? Or do we want to bury one? Let's try burying one.
I think we have to.
Okay.
Well, if we hit and roll,
Yeah, but then
we
they...
just have to make the do.
Right, and for one. So let's bury one. Let's bury it, and then she'll hit something, and then we can hit this later. Good?
not in a great setup to possibly steal, but after that miss by Morissette with her last of the third stones, Calleen Neufeld gonna try and draw around that guard, bury one around it, and B-shot stone.
You want to bury it?
Make a play on that yellow rock in the rings with her last. Calleen Neufeld, the skip of this Manitoba rink, is a record service technician at Grant West Life.
Room. Where? Airline, yep, yes. Hard. Room. Whoa.
Trying to suck one right around this guard. Leave it in front of the T-line as well.
Yep.
And they'll sit just on the back part of the T-line. It is shot stone, almost fully buried, as you see lining up the double. Gosselin and her first rock.
Le double. Hein? Non. Je comprends pas ce que tu veux dire par Charlie.
Gosselin is a languages student at Cégep Limoilou.
Yeah!
Doesn't make the double, but it'll roll over, protect that other stone. It's still Manitoba lying one.
Same ice and stuff. Or do you want to take a little
Where
more?
do we have again? Here? This is where we had?
As they're trying to
threw it
steal,
good, right?
trailing
Yeah.
7-2. Gonna look to just draw in, try and suck one around that guard again and get it buried, not leave a hit for Gosselin with her
Same thing.
last.
Screws right on it.
The last rock of this sixth end for Calleen Neufeld. She looks to try and set up a possible steal as she's down 7-2.
Wall line. Golden. Don't set up a double. High's okay. Yeah, golden. Yep. Hard. To it. Hard. To it, guys. Quick. Hard. Right up. Hard.
Not far enough to be second shot, but it takes away a hit directly on that shot stone.
Ouais,
You see him looking
recule. Ben, tasse-toi.
OK.
And that rock, you can almost see all that rock as you see Morissette trying to line up the double for 3 on this one. If you don't miss it, you will give up a steal. And with a 5-point lead, they're going to take the risk of try and score 3 and seal the deal, make it a 10-2 game.
OK.
Won't make the double. She'll end up just peeling it off. So maybe to get lucky on those stones, it is 1 red, a steal 1 for Manitoba. Now makes it a 7-3 game through 6 ends. You're watching CurlTV's coverage of the Canadian Junior. Back inside the Fort William Curling Club. It's now 7-3 in favor of Quebec over Manitoba. Lana Gosselin missed her last rock double to try and score 3 in that 6th end. end up giving a steal of 1 to Manitoba. Still a 4-point lead for Quebec, as they will still have the hammer in N7.
Pas de garde.
Ah, oui, t'es bon.
That rock for Isabelle Vallee will
Kaysa.
slide through the rings, won't stick around in the high centerline guard, in a better position than the last end for Lindsay Edie, and she'll look to throw a tight centerline guard with her second rock of the 7th end as they look to steal again.
Halfway. Halfway. Tight.
Tight?
Yeah.
Just wanted to sit out in front of the rings, but
Right.
it won't. It'll slide just in, and it'll allow Morissette to make a play on it if they would like, but she's just going to draw to the wide side of the house rather than draw around, and we'll try and peel those centerline guards off with Vicky Tremblay in her second stone, so Vallee in her second rock of N7.
Whoa, whoa.
It'll sit just on the wide side of the 12-foot, not fully in the rings, but it is shot stone for Quebec and being ignored as Manitoba needs to steal
Halfway
down
tight.
4 points, 4 ends remaining. Laryssa
Line's pretty
Grenkow
good.
trying to draw
Halfway
around.
tight. Huh? Yeah. Halfway. Yep. Yep.
Another check that as she's just thrown up another centerline guard.
Yep.
Is that
Quick, harder line.
tight one is just inside the rings.
Get there, Laryssa.
There's 3 guards out in front for them to try and use. And it'll be peel time. Vicky Tremblay has
Moins large un peu.
try and take off that top one first.
Whoa! Nice shot.
Nice shot, Vic.
Clean peel, takes off that top centerline guard, and now it's going to be replaced. Laryssa Grenkow and the second on Manitoba. Look to put up a guard just over the hog line. Keep some separation between those guards.
Just over. Halfway. Okay.
And you see those Red Rocks are lined up. Didn't want those two as tight, those two
Ah, bon,
guards out in
normalement,
front,
c'est
as tight as they are. Possible double peel opportunity for Vicky Tremblay, but the main objective is to get rid of the top one.
Good! Hard! 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 Hard!
Just misses catching that other one.
Excuse-moi.
Just a straight peel on that top one. Looks like Neufeld will throw up one more of those centerline guards. It's looking like they will drop their first game and come back to the field.
It's really good here.
It's an opportunity for Megan Kirk and her Alberta rink in Ontario to try and get within one game by winning this afternoon. Quebec stays as close as they'll
Stover.
move to 4-3.
Just over. Good.
Almost an identical position for that rock. As again, now it'll be Sophie Morissette will try her hand with peeling that top one off, maybe get both of them. Again, we'll just get that top one and kill her own stone in the rings as well. So just that one Manitoba stone just in the top of the house that is counting right now. So the kicker that Quebec had on the side of the rings is gone, and Sabrina Neufeld looking to put up another centerline guard.
Just freeze it. Just freeze it.
Just a little bump on that, and those rocks being fairly tight together, it might leave a double peel. Sophie Morissette, her second shot of the end. Of course, her team leading 7-3.
Huh? I said frozen would have been good. Yeah.
Trying to get both of them. Get them both moving. Actually, all three going. Now a sweep from Gosselin to try and get all three of them out of play. She does a great shot there. Gets all three of those. Red Manitoba rocks out of the rings and out of real play, so it'll now be Calleen Neufeld looking to throw up a guard. As she even here.
Just a guard. Halfway. No, halfway. We'll draw around it then.
Look to throw up. Centerline guard, get a miss, and draw in with her last, and hopefully get a steal in the seventh end.
Where? Here. Yeah. She said draw.
We're going halfway.
Just a halfway centerline guard, and now hope for that miss to try and set up a possible steal.
She thought we were going in? She thought we were going in?
Yeah, she said you.
A little bit of a surprising call. She's going to draw around rather than peel off the centerline guard. It's a 4-point lead. Gosselin, her first to skip stones.
Oh, c'est large!
On est où?
Wow!
This could come back to haunt Gosselin and allow a possible steal, as this one's doesn't look like it's going to get in behind that guard.
T'es pas fin. Oui, il faut en cacher au moins un peu. OK.
They'll sit top button.
OK.
And Neufeld,
Play with like what kind of weight?
that guard on her first, will have a shot to try and
We play like.
get in behind to lay a little tap
Want to
and
get to
roll.
the inside?
Yeah.
Back line?
Back line, yeah.
Sure. Like here? Good?
Yeah, that should be good.
So with a suspect call by the
Back
Quebec
line,
rank
and we're
by
gonna try
drawing
and get
around and
inside.
it not getting buried, it'll allow Neufeld a chance to hit and roll in behind. They peel that guard, there's nothing in the rings, and end up probably having a blank attempt in the 7th end. So now Neufeld has a chance to take advantage of that call by Quebec and make a little roll, possibly get another steal in this 7th end.
Whoa! 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 Right off! No, never!
Won't get the roll, will tap that, get it out of the rings, and
Contrôle.
they can't capitalize, can't get the inside roll. It'll be a hit for 2 for Gosselin and Quebec. Probably handshakes after the 7th end last rock for Gosselin.
Ouais.
Whoa.
Doesn't want to jam this one on the back, and so right off. Now just needs to sweep it through to get it out and score 1 for sure. As it is a score of just 1 for Quebec. Now makes it ends. You're watching CurlTV's coverage of Manitoba, Quebec junior ladies from the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, Ontario. After just scoring 1 point, they have a 5-point lead again. It's Quebec against Manitoba. Luke Coley in the Fort William Curling Club, 2006 M&M Meat Shops Canadian Juniors. Now Manitoba has the hammer back as they look to try and score some points, get some confidence heading into their game tonight. And of course, we'll be back on tonight with more junior ladies action. We will have a Battle of Ontario, the North versus the South, Northern Ontario against Ontario, later on this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Good. Good way.
And another one will throw through for Isabelle Vallee, the lead on this Quebec rink, looking to move to 4-3 with a victory this afternoon. And the second corner guard going to be put up. Lindsay Edie, the lead on Manitoba, as they look to try and, even if they aren't able to come back, get some confidence in the way they're throwing the rock. As getting down 7-1 at the start of the 5th end, Coach Calleen Neufeld came out, had a little talk. Make sure you focus every shot. Just worry about the shot at hand, and then not worry what the other team is doing. Just stay focused.
Halfway.
Try and get some confidence and feel comfortable with the way you're playing.
Right there.
Right here, guys. Yep, hard. Okay. Good throw.
White. Trying to drag it as far as I can. It won't get to be shot still.
Yeah, I was like, oh, watch it go. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh, watch it, girls.